Hello and welcome to SMACT TechCast series, where the flavor is always Oracle. My name is Peter Katrubis and I'll be your host for Secrets to Maximizing Oracle Analytics Cloud AI Assistant. Our agenda for this discussion is a quick corporate overview, then we're going to look at our learning objectives, then we're going to do an introduction to AI Assistant, and then we'll go into the details of the setup and deployment of the tool. Then we're going to look at the secrets to actually maximizing its effectiveness. What we're hoping you're going to take away from this in terms of learning objectives to understand what AI Assistant is and how it works, understand how to set it up and deploy it, and then understand the ways to maximize its effectiveness. SMACTworks was founded in 2013 as a pure-play Oracle Cloud consultancy. We're proud to boast over 150 of our own directly employed Oracle specialized resources today. We have a US-based practice and maintain an Oracle Center of Excellence and Innovation in our corporate office in Dublin, Ohio. We are an Oracle Cloud Certified Partner. We are ISO 9001 and 27001 certified, which translates to a commitment to process. We build processes around all of our projects and try to drive down the cost and maximize the efficiency of the implementations we do. We're an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company several years in a row. And we're also a Columbus Top Fast 50 growing company and #1 in IT services in that category. We're also a minority business enterprise and an SBA certified company. Our guiding principles are excellence, integrity, and growth. Our primary focus is on Oracle Cloud applications across the board with ERP, supply chain management, HCM, customer experience, and EPM. We also maintain Oracle PeopleSoft and Oracle eBusiness services. We specialize in Oracle Cloud infrastructure, including identity cloud services and integration cloud services, among other things. We also have a specialized Fusion Data Intelligence, autonomous data warehousing, and Oracle Analytics practice. Oracle Analytics AI Assistant. Basically, it's a tool that uses natural language to help users interact with their data by using a large language model to understand the context of questions the user submits to the system within the platform. Then translates that into results or actions by presenting visualizations that will answer the query that's been submitted by the end user. This eliminates the need to master intricate tool functions within OAC and allows the user to focus on interpreting the results rather than navigating the complexities of the software. Basically, it acts as a conversational interface to OAC for analysis. It recognizes Oracle Analytic workbooks and data sets and leverages natural language processing and machine learning to understand complex questions that the user submits to the system so it can provide relevant insights within OAC. Oracle Corporation began rolling this out in September of 2024. Initially, it was only available for shapes of 10 gigabytes or better, and then was rolled out subsequently to smaller shapes. Today, it's available for all OAC customers as of the May 2025 update. Again, initially it was rolled out only for the larger size customers, but as of the May update, it's been available for everybody that runs OAC. There's two types of models of AI Assistant. One is the out-of-the-box mode, which provides a private large language model which is managed by Oracle, but it's not static. This is something that Oracle manages behind the scenes, and they take the liberty of changing it as they feel necessary to maximize the ability for AI Assistant to work the way it's meant to work. This is a benefit to end users because if you know anything about using AI and large language models, it's a very iterative process and takes a lot of trial and error. So Oracle removes that complexity by managing the large language model in the out-of-the-box mode. It's 100% secure. Your data never leaves OCI and is not used for future training of the large language models. All data sets are supported today and subject areas are supported actually as of the May update. Focus on data questions, quality, and accuracy exceeds other large language models. Again, Oracle's managing this large language model behind the scenes, takes the work off of you, but while maximizing the effectiveness of the tool from a technical perspective. So the large language model actually takes the end user's query converts it into a SQL statement, and then produces a visualization. There's no additional charge or license required for the use of AI. It's available for workbook authors only. How does it work? AI Assistant, again, you submit the natural language query as a text through OAC. The large language model receives that through natural language understanding. It takes it, validates it, converts it to a SQL statement, retrieves the data, selects the visualization type, and then provides the insight. We're going to go into more details later about how you can further modify it and explore the path of the investigation of the question that you're looking for. Second mode of AI Assistant is to bring your own large language model. This was made available in Q1 2025. There's a high risk of hallucinations anytime you use an external large language model. Currently, it only supports OpenAI ChatGPT 4. Prompts will be sent to the external model. It's available to all customers in all shapes. It's also available for Oracle Analytics Server. It requires the customer to provide the large language key. So you have to subscribe to OpenAI ChatGPT and then provide the key, and then that would integrate with AI Assistant within either OAS or OAC. And it's going to leverage the public knowledge to better understand the user's quest. 100% of the numbers are taken from your data set, so you can always rely on the numbers or figures that are provided by AI Assistant, regardless of whether you use the out-of-the-box model or the bring your own model. It's available within Auto Insights panel. You'd click on Auto Insights, and within Auto Insights, if it's been enabled for you by your administrator, you'll see the assistant. Within the assistant, then you would have a text box here, which I've blown up so you could see it better. And this is where you'd enter your natural language query or anything that you're interested in. Again, it's going to be within the workbook. It's only going to be access to the data sets that are available for that workbook. So within the AI Assistant, the value lies in the exploration path you take and the process you follow in natural language query of your data that leads to the desired result. Today, you can't save that path, but it is on the roadmap to save that because, again, the path and the exploration you go through of investigation is going to be important in the future for understanding how you came to the conclusions that you're looking for. Then it further allows you to use modifiers to select your preferred visualizations and further enhance the results by adding data columns to your query. Add interesting data points to your watch list or your homepage. Key benefits. The key benefits of AIA are increased accessibility, faster insights, and enhanced productivity. Again, remember, AI Assistant is meant to take away the complexities of using OAC, allow you to submit natural language query, and ultimately reach the results that you're looking for in the exploration of your data. AI Assistant increases accessibility in this way. It enables non-technical users to analyze data effectively through natural language interactions. The Analytics Cloud AI Assistant understands the context of the user's question because of the large language model and how it's been trained and maintained behind the scenes by Oracle and or the large language model that you might bring on your own. The Oracle Cloud AI Assistant provides workflow and enhances productivity, enabling an analyst to focus on data insights instead of mastering tools. Its core features are natural language query. Users can ask questions in plain language to explore data, identify trends, and gain insights without needing complex SQL queries. Again, the large language models convert the natural language query into SQL for you. Contextual understanding. The AI Assistant can interpret the context of the questions based on the current data set and analysis being performed. Data visualization generation. Again, the AI Assistant is going to generate the visualizations based on your query. Explanation of results. Provide clear explanations for insights generated, including key drivers and contributing factors. So again, AI Assistant is going to help you and assist you by explaining the results that is generated from your natural language query. Generated data sets from descriptions. There's another feature that's available where you can auto-generate a description for your data set. In my personal exploration of this, it provides a simple description, so I would recommend that you take the time to provide as detailed of a description of your data set which is going to make the large language model more effective, and it's going to boost its understanding of your query because of you providing more detail in that description. From technical aspects of AI Assistant, AI Assistant seamlessly integrates into the existing OAC interface and interacts with the data models and visualizations. Its underlying AI technology utilizes large language models to power the natural language understanding and response generation. AIA includes customization options that allow you to tailor the AI Assistant to specific business needs by adjusting underlying models or providing custom data sources. AI Assistant use case examples. We could go through this. There's many examples of how this could be used. Could be utilized in any industry for many purposes. Next, we're going to cover the AI Assistant setup and deployment. We're going to look at a complex setup. We're going to look at the easy setup. So we'll give you a little variety here. Most of it's going to be the same. Check availability. As of the May 2025 update, the AI Assistant, as discussed earlier in Oracle Analytics, becomes available to all compute shapes and removes the previous requirement of 10 plus OCPUs. To check if the assistant is available in your environment, display the search tab of the dataset and confirm that you can index for the assistant. Again, this is only available for workbook authors, but must be enabled by your administrator. I've provided a detailed link for the Oracle documentation on the deployment. These are some quick screenshots, which is multiple screenshots that have been condensed into one slide. You go into your data set and you click on Inspect. From Inspect, you would click on Search. And then from Search, it's going to bring up another box here, which will allow you to add synonyms to your data. These synonyms are key for the understanding of the large language model to interpret your query and produce results. This is going to be one of the keys to maximizing the effectiveness of AI Assistant is providing synonyms, providing a good description of your data set, and then within your data set, indexing columns of your data, and then providing detailed descriptions or synonyms. You can provide up to 50 synonyms per column of your data, which again is going to allow the large language model to interpret your natural language query and produce results. From there, you would save that configuration and then run it. There is an option to run or schedule this to run at a later date, and that's why you would save the configuration prior to running it in that order. So again, from here, you can see that I have indexed my data set, and then I've provided synonyms for certain data points. I had taken an extract of our sales database and imported it into OAC as a data set, and then initially had queried the system to ask about customer engagement. I got 0 results. That was because the large language model didn't understand the context of what engagement meant for me. So then I went back into the tool and I provided a synonym for each data column that actually was part of my interpretation of engagement from a customer perspective. So you can see the number of opened emails, the number of emails responded to, the number of calls completed. These are all going to be key points for engagement for me, but the large language model is not going to understand it. So providing these synonyms for each one of your columns is going to help the large language model understand the context of your query and produce the proper results. Index a data set. You must index a data set to make its data attributes available to the homepage ask and the Oracle Analytics AI Assistant. You can index all or some of the data sets or attributes and apply synonyms to make the attributes easier to search. On the home page, data page, select the data set, hover over the data set, then select Actions, then Inspect. Click the Search tab, Inspector. Click the Index Dataset for drop-down and select an option. Click Index. Select an option for indexing the data elements. Select User Recommended Index Settings. Click the Language field and select the language you want to use and produce the dataset index. Click Save. Click Run Now to index your dataset immediately, and then click Refresh to check the completion status of the index. It takes a couple minutes. Also with the languages, while there's only a certain number of languages supported today, we are encouraged to use any data language that you are interested in and see if you get the results. And it's highly recommended because they anticipate we're actually going to get results regardless of languages being supported or not. This is an outline of a simple deployment. Again, this would just skip some of the detailed configuration. We recommend use the default settings that Oracle has available and then play with the tool instead of getting into the detailed selection of those configuration options. You can also schedule the indexing of a data set, which would follow the same process, except for instead of running it, you would select the day and time that you wanted that to occur. Again, here's just a detailed screenshot with the actual selection of the day and time that you wanted to index the data set versus running it at the time that you had indexed the data. So make analytics content easier to search. Content authors make analytic content easier to search from the home page by specific synonyms for columns in the data set. So again, once you get into your indexing of your columns, then you're going to want to add these detailed synonyms, and you can add up to 50 per column, and that's going to be what the AI assistant uses in the large language model uses to interpret the natural language query and tie it back to your question to produce the visualizations that it thinks are going to meet your needs and answer your questions. Another screenshot of indexing your columns and adding synonyms. Add or updated data permissions. You can assign users and roles and access permissions, full control, read-write, and read-only to a data set you create or administer. Assign permissions to users and roles to specify who can access the data and what they can do within the data set. For example, reload data, index the data set, or download the file. Summary of key steps to using the OAC AI assistant. Enable your data set, index your data set, hit run now and wait a few minutes, or schedule it. Ask questions. Putting AI to use. To use the Oracle Analytics Cloud AI Assistant, navigate to your dataset in the Data section, open the Inspect panel, and go to Search tab. Select Assistant, and then ask natural language questions about your data to receive visualizations. Again, the number of data sets that you have within the workbook that you've created, AI Assistant is going to select the data set which is most likely to answer your question based on its understanding of the context of the question and then produce results. Conclusion, the primary value of using Oracle Analytics AI Assistant, or what we're referring to as AIA, is the ability to simplify complex data analysis by allowing users to ask questions in natural language, generate visualizations, insights without requiring extensive technical knowledge. This is going to increase productivity, enables fast decision-making by bringing the gap between the business questions and the data analysis. The key critical things to focus on when deploying AI Assistant: understand the use of custom and generic large language models, learn how to create metadata by creating human speak, and learn how to determine what should not be targeted within the index. Artificial intelligence requires a significant amount of setup and work to deliver reliable benefits. Most data is not ready for natural language interaction. To set up configuration and use of synonyms and utilization of various large language model types are critical to the use of AIA. Descriptive synonyms improve response accuracy and relevance. Also, the descriptions of your data sets. So we encourage you to be as descriptive as possible and take as much time to do that preparation in advance. Also encourage you to get started using it and playing with it without doing some of that to see the results, so you can see the difference between how the tool interprets the context of your question and the results it produces before and after you do that work. Secrets to maximizing the AI assistant. Optimizing the effectiveness of Oracle AI Assistant boils down to meticulous data preparation, intelligent indexing, and continuous refinement based on user interaction. It's about making your data speak the language the AI Assistant understands best. Data preparation is paramount, smart indexing strategies, and continuous iteration and refinement. So here we can see again how the AI assistant works. First of all, the end user asks a question. The AI assistant runs it through a large language model, which understands the context of the query based on the synonyms and the data descriptors you've provided. And then through natural language understanding, it validates that and then produces a SQL statement to retrieve the data, then selects a visualization that it thinks best suits your the data presentation, and then provides insights into the data analysis. Data preparation is paramount. Clean and consistent data. Handling nulls. Replace blank or null values with descriptive placeholders like unknown or NA. This ensures AI Assistant can include these records in the results rather than exclude them. Standardized formats. Ensure consistent formats for dates, numeric values, and other data types to avoid misinterpretation. Address special characters. Clean up any unusual or special characters that might confuse the AI assistant. Meaningful names and conventions. Intuitive field names. Rename critical or abbreviated fields to be easier understood by users. For example, change CNTRB underscore margin to contribution margin. So again, another example would be EMPL ID. That's employee ID often in many of the HCM systems. So you'd want to add the synonym employee ID. That's going to help the large language model understand the context of your question because your natural business speak is probably not going to match the data fields and the data headers that you have within your system. Clarify technical terms. Use business glossary terms to make technical terms accessible. Disambiguate similar columns. If you have multiple date fields, you're going to want to be more specific around which is the order date, the ship date, and the invoice date, because again, we anticipate that when you submit a natural language query, you're going to be using business speak, and again, not some cryptic data field names. Here's an example of a data dictionary that I use internally at our organization, and you can see that there's a lot of different business speak that we use within the business that the large language model is not going to understand. Things like engagement, as I suggested before. I have statuses to customers here. Large language model is not going to understand all those things. So I'm going to have to provide synonyms or descriptors to my data sets in order for the large language model to understand the query that I've submitted and produce good results. And again, it's an iterative process. I would suggest you try it without doing a lot of this or doing a minimal amount of this, then play with the tool and then come back and add detailed descriptors, which is the process I followed. Data preparation. Enrich and transform data. Binning. Group numerical values into descriptive categories instead of raw sales figures. Create bins like small, medium, and large orders to allow users to ask questions like how many customers have really large orders. That way, again, the large language model is going to understand the context of small, medium, or large orders because you've provided that level of detail to enhance its understanding. Grouping. Create high-level categories by combining related items. Grouping many product categories into electronics or furniture. This allows AI to respond to broader questions. Reference knowledge. Enrich data sets with external context, like linking countries to continents or name to gender dates to provide more valuable observations for AI. Extract data parts. Extract useful information from existing columns, such as extracting the day of the week from a date column to enable more precise queries. Show sales for all Fridays in 2024. As an example might be a question that's submitted a natural language query, but again, enhancing the effectiveness of the large language model by giving it more context is going to produce better results. Smart indexing strategies. Selective indexing. Index what matters. Carefully select the columns you want the AI system to index. Focus on metrics, regions, dates, and categorical fields that users are most likely to ask about. Avoid high cardinality fields. Do not index columns with large numbers of unique values like IDs or SKUs or addresses. These add complexity without significantly enhancing insights and can lead to ambiguity. Leverage recommended settings. Start with Oracle's user-recommended indexing settings and then refine individual column choices. Strategic use of names and values versus name only. Name and values. Use this categorical field that users might reference directly: country, product category. Name only. Use this for measures or high cardinality fields where the specific values aren't typically queried directly. Smart indexing strategies. Synonym supercharging. Provide synonyms for each relevant column. Add synonyms that users might naturally use to refer to the data. This helps the AI assistant understand the variations in the user language. For example, contribution margin. You might add profit or gross margin. Resolve ambiguity. Use synonyms to differentiate between similar name fields: birth month, hire month. Continuous iteration and refinement. Monitor and analyze. Monitor and analyze. Continuously monitor which questions succeed and which fail. Analyze user queries and the AI assistant's responses to identify areas for improvement. User feedback. Encourage users to provide feedback on the AI assistant's performance. This direct input is invaluable for fine-tuning. Interactive tuning. Based on monitoring and feedback, iterate on your metadata. Rename fields, add synonyms, refine indexing, and enhance data transformations. Business-centric descriptions. Ensure the metadata clearly describes the data in business terms that users naturally employ, not technical database terminology. Less is more, especially when starting out. Focus on indexing fewer high-impact elements, then progressively add more based on observed usage. Avoid trying to index everything at once. In essence, the secret is to make your data intuitive, unambiguous, and easily understandable as possible for natural language processing models. It's an ongoing process of aligning your data representations with the way your users speak about their business. Investing in tuning metadata to be AI ready is not difficult or costly and has huge potential value. Essentially, it all comes down to semantics and a detailed process of synchronizing your dataset, business glossary, and fit gap analysis of your data table nomenclature to natural language terminology the business uses. Then enriching your data with descriptors that will give AIA the ability to understand the context of the user's natural language query so it can effectively, automatically translate that into a SQL statement that generates a visualization and further enhance it with insights. Moreover, it will allow the user to continue down a path of discovery. Conclusion: make your data intuitive and easy to understand for natural language processing. Aligning the data representation with how users speak and think about the business is an ongoing process. Fine-tuning AI-ready metadata is inexpensive and a huge potential value. And I hope you've enjoyed today's TechCast and come again.